Greetings, YouTube, once again. Happy Thursday. Believe it or not, one of my favorite things to do is have reasons to give Kabam credit. That might seem hard for some people to believe, but I still love playing this game. I spend more time playing this game than I do eating. Shoot, there are some days, I hate to admit, that I played this game more than I sleep. So I want this game to not only be around, but I want it to have pro player improvements that help keep the community excited and engaged in a game that I hope is around for years to come, just as the MCU is planning, of course, to be around for who knows, decades to come. And I also feel like when I have positive things to say, it just feels good. It feels like we have succeeded as a community when improvements are made. I felt the same way about peak milestones and dungeon improvements, at least until the latest refresh timers. And, just improvement in the Glory Store, Alliance Quest rewards, etc. These are all good things. And I feel like there's two extremes of the community that I really hate popping up whenever I make any video that's critical of Kabam. The first is the pitchfork people who only seem to get excited about videos when it's something that reinforces their hatred of a company. It's like a really abusive relationship where if you're just miserable and you only are happy when you get to complain, then quit the game and download something else, right? It's just not worth it. It's not healthy for you emotionally, I'm sure financially, etc. But then there's the opposite side, what I call the Kabam homers, who anytime you make any video that's critical of a company and for often very valid reasons, they'll comment and say, "Oh, shut up, you bunch of entitled whiners. You're just addicted to complaining about the game. You should be thankful that it exists in the first place, blah, blah, blah." Thankfully, I feel like those are the two extremes of the fringe, and everybody else is somewhere in the middle that, like myself, they just want to enjoy playing the game and hopefully have it be as few bugs as possible. I give the analogy because some people, let's be honest, have spent more money on this game than they have their car. Like, this is actually more valuable in terms of investment than their car, even though the return on investment is probably zero. And so if your car has an engine light that comes on, and suddenly you're used to driving your car flawlessly from point A to point B, and now all of a sudden you feel like that engine is going to either slow your car down or maybe halt it suddenly to a stop in the middle of traffic, no one's going to comment to you and be like, "Oh, that engine light, whatever, it's no big deal, don't worry about it, just be thankful you're driving a car in the first place." Like, no, they would say, go to a mechanic, get it checked out. You obviously want your car to be running at full capacity. That's what happens when bugs happen in the game. I feel like suddenly lights are going off in your car and they have to be addressed, or else you're not going to be driving the product at its efficiency and its advertised level that you've spent so much money, and for some people literally thousands of dollars to make sure runs correctly. So it is with that long introduction that the negative zone bounty missions have actually resulted in a positive change for the community. I feel like, especially after the atrocity that was Merc missions, which I just remember having to do an insane amount of fights using energy I didn't have, and then that was the Domino introduction month, so I'd fight Domino for the first time and I'd just get wrecked. And the rewards were really terrible for the amount of time put in, and then you weren't even sure when they'd pop up because, just randomly it would happen if somebody triggered them. So nothing about it makes sense. Now, if you're in an alliance like mine, and my alliance, shout out to everybody who is activating these. Right when one ends, another begins. So you can just count on every 8 hours jumping into a new one. It is only 2 fights. This one I think is the easiest by far I've seen. I usually just take the center lane up. I bring my Corvus. I get 2 guaranteed missions in Epic versus Age of Ultron Vision, who doesn't even have that random power gain, so he's super easy to defeat. And then Corvus usually takes down the final boss, who's always been Human Torch, at least for me, on one try. But if not, of course, I've got 4 stacked other members of my attack team to finish him off. And then you get guaranteed rewards. It's super easy, only 1 energy per tile. It doesn't scale and get more energy like, say, the event quest does for later parts of this. And so it's just, I love it. I think it's great. I actually would be excited for this kind of event to come back because it's low stress, good rewards, and predictable. It's not like something at 3 a.m. is randomly going to pop up when everybody is asleep. So kudos to you, Kabam. I'm really happy with this. And so it is with that positive reinforcement of this event, that I want to bring to your attention a summoner by the name of Cutlass, who I have talked about a couple times in some videos in the past. He has taken it upon himself to break down if your alliance is like mine and does 3 missions a day, every day that this is available. And there has been some concern from some people who didn't see the forum post that this would only be a 3-week event like the event quest. That is not true. The official forum post says this runs from April 3rd to May 1st, so it's about a full month. So if you do every difficulty of every level of this, you will get a bonus, and you'll see the 1 round, but we're going to scroll all the way down. After 96 rounds, the full event duration, a bonus 1,440 6-star shards, 7,200 Tier 5 basic fragments, 57,600 Tier 2 alpha catalyst fragments, 36,000 5-star shards, 192 Tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystals, 184,320 Tier 4 basic fragments. I feel like the Tier 4 basic problem is still bad for a lot of people, so this is a great way to solve people who need more Tier 4 basic fragments. 11,040 4-star shards, 28,800 3-star shards, and 24,000 premium disappointment crystal shards. First off, can we just give, and I'm sure you can hear this, Cutlass a round of applause for all that math. I'm so thankful for your investment in these numbers, my friend, because this will hopefully help the community see just the value of doing these every 8 hours. And 8 hours is also nice. You could, in theory, get a full 7 hours of sleep and still have 1 hour left to complete all the difficulties. Kabam, take note of that in an effort to hopefully change the energy cost at some point finally in both Alliance Quest and Alliance War, to at least have it be 7 energy capped, if not the dream, which is always the 30-minute timers, which everybody just loves life way more. And I think in general the morale of the community is up every time we have those limited 30-minute timers, where of course you can clear a full energy worth of path in 2.5 hours. So there you have it, YouTube. I am thankful for the Negative Zone bounty missions. I was just as skeptical as everybody else when this announcement was first released, because these events have been nothing but terrible, right? They've been like having to go to the dentist for a root canal every couple months, or get stuck in line at the DMV. But Kabam has listened to the feedback, and I think most of it was really constructive. And this is why I don't shy away from keeping it 100, or as one of the summoners and subscribers of my channel said, keeping it 1,000, whatever that means. Because I do think someone at some point maybe will come across this video, and the same as the forum post, and they'll realize, hey, we don't want these events to be something that are a drain to the community. And so constructive feedback about how to improve it actually makes these better. And when these things improve and they are pro-player decisions, the community and the health of the community and the morale of the community benefits along with it. So I'm a huge fan of the Negative Zone bounty missions. I plan on doing every single one of them I can this month. And as you can see now, thanks to Cutlass, the rewards are well worth your small amount of time investment. It's a win-win, and we're getting super hyped for the end of the month, which I still believe firmly will be some kind of Avengers in-game special event. Until then, have a great one, YouTube.